Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Little Red Dot. If you are tuning in, I appreciate you being here for what is the premiere of Capers Behind the Eight Ball, a campaign that I have written using this incredible RPG system called Capers, written none other than by our very own Craig himself. I have words. I can use them. Craig, why don't you just very quickly, versus me doing it, because I'm going to give my spiel here in a second. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about this game we're going to play tonight?
Hi, yeah, I'm Craig Campbell. I'm the guy at Nerdburger Games. I made Capers. It just fulfilled a few weeks ago. It kickstarted back in March. Spent a few years working on it. It's a like a super powered game of gangsters in the Roaring Twenties. So everybody here is playing nefarious criminals of some sort or another who are looking to make their fortune in the Prohibition era of the Roaring Twenties, and everybody's got some level of superpower. In the game, you can also, if you want, play the losing battle that is law enforcement during this era. We opted to play the gangsters. The game uses a playing card mechanic rather than dice. Everybody here has a standard deck of playing cards, including two jokers. One of them will be referred to in the game as the good joker, and one of them is the bad joker, and you'll get to see the mechanics play out when we get going. That's the basics of it, right?
That is the basics of it. That is the basics. Now, for the purpose of our game, without spoiling too much, I'd like to go around and go ahead and introduce the players and your characters, because you guys brought some really cool characters to the table. Like, I didn't know what, like, I don't know why I just expected like basic, cigar style, like type gangsters, and all of you like brought your own twist, which is really cool. So before I tell you about this campaign in particular, let's go around and meet our killer cast and crew. And Craig, why don't you just go ahead and start us off? What character are you going to be playing?
I'm playing Bertrand Esprit. He is a Cajun fella. He lived down on the bayou. He's a very fast individual. He moves real quick. Likes to steal the cars, even though he can move as fast as them. And he's an accomplished car thief, and considers himself a bit of a flim-flam artist as well, a con man, but he's not terribly good at it. He's had to run a bad luck with that. So he sticks with stealing cars, and in the process, sometimes gets himself involved in running bootleg for moonshine and liquor in the New Orleans area. So. Always in a different car. He never uses his own vehicle. In fact, he does not own a car. He borrows.
He borrows. Sure. Without returning, I'm sure of it.
Well, it depends, mon chéri. It depends.
It depends. Awesome. And next up, we have Mad Fishmonger. I'm so excited. This is your first time on my channel, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I know. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm like, this game is super interesting. I liked it as soon as I looked at it. I am playing Callisto. Her friends call her Callie. And as a when you hire her as a sniper, she's typically known as the killer.
Killer. I can't imagine what it is that she does as the killer.
She lived. Her family were Greek immigrants. They ended up in the bayou. They, hunted, farmed, and just kind of quietly lived out in the bush until they lost brother in the Great War, and mom and dad got old and sick. So Callie had to go and find a job. Turns out she's really, really good with a rifle.
Oh, yeah.
But she's also really, really good at not being seen.
Oh,
with a rifle.
Little sneaky sniper action is what I'm hearing.
So maybe some people got shot, and maybe nobody knows why, or how, or who did it.
Well then, I can't wait to see how you you sneak your way through what I have planned. No, next up, we have Saverick. Hey, how are you? And tell us about your character.
Oh, I'm good. I am playing Silvio Big Sly Bucco. It's not a native born. Just came over on the boat from Naples with his father and his family. Making a name for myself as a made man here in New Orleans. Got my own little club here, the Club Di Gatti. It's a very legitimate business. You know, just trying to make paper as best I can and not live the life that my father had, you know, some miserable, you know, dock worker scumbag. So that's all I'm going to say for that.
Well then, yeah, and we'll get to spend some time hopefully at this legitimate business today. Next up, also I'm very excited to bring to my channel Kika. How are you?
Hey, I'm Kika. I'm playing Lucky Lily Hirschfeld. She is originally from Atlantic City, but she's come on down for you know, check out the area for the most part, get herself involved in some new ventures. She is very adept at well, making sure she and the people she's working with have good luck, and also making sure things aren't where you expect them to be.
Yes, that is the most brilliant way you have explained that. That's actually really great. Now I'm excited to see it in action. Kika chose a very interesting power, so that one I will not spoil because we'll see how that one actually plays out. And last but certainly not least, another person I'm super excited to bring to the channel. Lots of new people, new games, new things. Eric Vulgaris, how are you? I think you're muted. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Thank you so much for bringing me here. Thank you, chat, for having me and putting up with my shenanigans I'm going to get into. I'm Eric, and today I'm playing Joey the Lion. I used to be a boxer from Atlantic City until I took a dive for my father. And my father kind of spit me out after that. So there goes my career. I'm basically Marlon Brando's character from On the Waterfront, crossed with Achilles, like the Greek hero. That's basically who I am.
Oh no. Where there is a hero, there is a tragedy.
Yeah. And currently, I'm working as a bouncer at Big Sly's bar.
You are, in fact. That is true. And each of you probably have some kind of connection with one another, which we're going to hop into here in just a second. But I want to remind everyone, first off, tonight we are going to do a giveaway of this game. You get a free PDF copy of Capers itself if you hang around. To enter that giveaway, all you need to do is type !Moxie, MOXIE. That is tonight's secret special password to get entered into the giveaway. So go ahead and type Moxie. I believe that is the one I chose. And it'll enter your name, and then we'll draw probably halfway through the evening. I see all of you kind of hopping in there, so it looks like it is working. So again, that is !Moxie, MOXI. And speaking of Moxie, Moxie is something that is used in the game of Capers to allow characters to add things to story, to activate special powers, to do things like shuffle your decks of cards. So Moxie can be used as an exchange system throughout Capers, which is one of the things that I really love about it, which means that you can give Moxie points to the players you see before you, or to me. You can give them to me. I'll use them. I'll put them to good use, I promise. And you can do that by bits or donations. That is pretty much the single big kind of way to donate during this campaign. There's not a lot of options, but you can donate a ton of Moxie points. So for every $2, you give a Moxie point. Pretty simple. You can also subscribe to give a Moxie point. Yeah. I think that's about it. So make sure to hang around so we can get somebody a free PDF copy. And we plan to give away a free PDF copy every night of this campaign. And the final episode, we will be giving away a hard copy with a matching deck of Caper cards. So just hang in there with us. Let's see what kind of gangsta shenanigans this crew can get up to. So I'm just gonna, I guess, dive right in to to what I have written here, because I did, for the first time in a long time, write a little bit of a monologue. So let's hop in. So the air is alive with the celebrations of ecstasy and drink. The Great War has come and gone, leaving the United States to prosper in its wake. Commerce, art, and music thrive, while political struggles around the Volstead Act plague every corner of the country. The sudden increase in both crime and caper activity seems all too coincidental. Cities like New York, Chicago, and Atlantic City have all found ways to continue consumption during Prohibition. But there's one city in particular that is more liquid than the rest. New Orleans, Louisiana. Its cobblestone streets bustle with food, drink, music, and laughter tonight. Somewhere deep in the French Quarters, the sound of an old organ is heard playing a hymn. People sing along. A single voice reaches out above them as the song comes to a close. Brothers and sisters, we gather here today to celebrate our upcoming victory for the Lord. Our purposeful cleansing of this great city of New Orleans is upon us. Listen. Do you hear it? The sounds of lust, gluttony, and sin. For too long, our city and this country have been poisoned by the seething venoms of capers. For where they tread comes crime, evil, and death. Only the devil would grant such destructive and manipulative powers. But the close of Fat Tuesday's upon us, and we will see those capers wiped clean of this place, purified by this holy liquid. He holds up a vial full of some kind of potent, glowing orange liquid. It is time for them to come back to the light, and it is our purpose to shepherd them there. For without their powers, they are just like you and me, and thusly their souls can be saved. But while they are inhabited by evil spirits, which grants them abilities, they are too far from the Lord's grace to bring home. So we must now pray for them, brothers and sisters, and for ourselves. For our purpose is righteous, and we cannot fail the Lord in this mission. Everybody in the church gets down on a knee and begins to pray together in unison. The camera pans out back into the streets of the French Quarter, which is alive with the final celebration day of Fat Tuesday, better known as Mardi Gras. The music is a bustle. There is no telling what time it is. It is just Mardi Gras time. The sun is definitely down, and there is a click, click, click of a heel as Lucky Lily walks into the French Quarters of New Orleans. Do you want to give us a brief description of what Lily looks like walking down or walking into the city of New Orleans?
Lily is about 5'10" with sort of shoulder length brown hair, which she is presently wearing up, kind of very styled, and she's wearing a simple white dress and has a handbag. I think that's about it.
Okay, cool. Does she carry any luggage with her for extended stay or anything?
She doesn't actually. I think she's mostly just relying on connections and cash right now.
Yeah. Well, the good news is you have been told of a few locations where you can easily buy your way into information. But you were given one name in particular that you were looking for. One by the name of Bertrand, right? Did I get that right? Bertrand? Did I get that right, Craig? How do you...
Bertrand.
Excuse me, Bertrand. The name of Bertrand, who is supposed to be we'll say a runner, is how he was explained to you by you know who. He frequents quite a few of these speakeasies. Not that you could really call many of them secretive, as the streets tonight are lush with drunk people, including cops. It's a pretty interesting sight to see, in fact, as if they don't actually care that there is a law in place that says that alcohol cannot be served. There's one place in particular, though, that he delivers to once a week, frequent because of the busy nature of the club, and that is it translates to the Cat Club, but Club del Gatti. Dei Gatti? You get that right? Club del Gatti.
The Gatti.
The Gatti. And just tell me, because it is your club, what does it look like from the exterior? And then tell me the final night of Fat Tuesday, what does it look like on the interior?
Well, the exterior is very simple. I mean, it's just a plain brick, establishment. But just on the outside, it just has a cat with a saxophone. It's very low key. You could pass it and not even know that you passed it. When you walk in, it looks like a regular old club. I mean, it's got the booths and the stage, and it's very boring. But in the back's where the real action happens.
Oh, yeah. And if I were to make my way to the back, what would I see standing there?
Well, but before you get to the back, you have to know the password.
Oh, who do I give the password to?
You have to give it to the lady behind the bar. And well, this week and this week only, it's going to be New England clam chowder.
All right.
Give that little password to the lady. She'll lead you to the back, and that's where you have all the machines for all the slots. You got the nice bar there, the high class bar, not that raggedy shit they have in the front. This is the nice polished bar,
marble top.
And the brass, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's bringing a tear to my eyes just talking about it. That's where you get all the good stuff, all the kind of liquors you want.
And there's one liquor in particular that seems to sell well at your establishment, we'll call it.
Talking about the local Louisiana Moonshine.
That's right,
yeah.
The local Louisiana Moonshine, made by the local Moisey family. And we're actually going to take a moment and cut, as we say Moisey family, to the swamps. The bayou, just outside the city of New Orleans. Easy walk or even car drive. But, Bertrand, what do you look like standing there in front of the three sisters?
Bertrand is... he's a regular Jake. He's brown trousers, worn shoes, black shirt, white t-shirt, suspenders, newsboy hat. He would pass off as just any old person in a crowd, and he would probably be easily forgotten unless he speaks to you, in which case the Cajun accent comes out, and people do tend to remember that.
You stand before the three sisters you know well. The Moisey sisters, as they're called. They don't go anywhere without the other. You grew up with them around, though they never really accepted you as their own sibling.
Yeah, but Joelle was sweet on me. She won't admit it, but she was.
Joelle, being the tallest and most beautiful, stands in the middle of the three sisters, Flora, Joelle, and Odette. The Moisey sisters. And Joelle steps up, and she says, Grandma says you can't come in today.
Mayhap I didn't come here to see Grandma.
Well,
and he kind of gives her a little bit of a smile. This is their ritual. He knows he's not going to get any reaction out of her, but it doesn't stop him.
She's deadpan. Deadpan. She says, well, what you here for?
Checking to see if you got any work for me. I got this fine new roadster here, needs to get the engine cleaned out.
You see her side-eye her two sisters. And, she says, well, cause of Fat Tuesday and all, you could make the delivery early. To the cat club.
Regular fee then?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of tips his hat, gives a little wink, goes assuming he knows his way around here, he goes to start loading up the roadster.
Yep. Their father, who is not a bright fella, helps you load it, built like a tree, really, as he helps you load these barrels into the truck you drive. What have you stolen today there, Bertrand?
It's an open-top roadster, so yeah, he's loading barrels into plain sight. But that's okay, I got a top put over the top of them.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of strapped him down. Not that anybody really cares, and everybody in town's too drunk to even bother stopping you.
Exactly.
But you drive right on in, and as you do so, you honk your way through the busy streets down the French Quarter, trying to get as close as possible because you know you're going to have to lug these if you don't get close enough into the Cat Club. And as you pull up, it's actually Lucky Lily, this truck pulls out of the crowd of people that parked and parks right in front of you, almost tipping you over. Behind it sits Bertrand, this kind of normal fella, as he was so explained.
You gonna get a wiggle on and get out of the way? I got me a delivery to make.
So I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is it possible? So like, hold on. How big is this car?
It's like it's basically a 4-door convertible, or like a 2-door 4-passenger convertible.
Roadster. Yeah.
The Roadster. Yeah. It's a sport car, effectively.
Right. Yeah. For this time. Yeah.
Right. And I say, and I was at any way to talk to your, what's the word for it? I don't know the word for it. The people you pay for to park your car. Valet, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there any way to talk to your valet?
Oh, is someone taking this car off my hand then?
Yeah. And I walk over to the side and
tell us what Joey looks like as he bustles toward the side of this car.
Right. Even though it's hot, Joey's still wearing his like quintessential like dock worker's jacket, like that bomber jacket. His hands in his pockets, and he comes over. And Bertrand, you and we have a relationship going back, and you know I'm just busting your chops.
Yeah.
And so when I come over to you, I give you a smile, and I like shake your hand in the car, like how you going? How's it going, buddy?
It's good. You're gonna take this off my hand. It costs you $400.
I'll tell you what, I was taking whatever you got in the back. And I say, all right. And I smack the top of the car.
Yeah.
And let him go through.
Yep. And Lily, you watch this entire interaction between the two of them, like open trading of alcohol on the streets. Neither of them seem to even notice you are standing there.
I think I'll just sort of hang back for now and watch them and actually just follow the alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. They like I said, they seem probably there's enough libations going around. But if you want to really hide, you could do that, or you can just try to blend. Either one, and as you do so, it's actually this feeling that you're being watched kind of pricks you in the back of the neck. And as the camera pans out over the three of you right out front of the Cat Club, the killer is perched atop a wrought iron fence, or like a fence around the top of one of these flat-topped New Orleans apartment buildings, really. Beautiful wrought iron. And you stare down on the scene below. Having received a job last night, contacted in the midst of these celebrations, you were
very rudely interrupted.
Yes, you were to keep an eye for good pay via an anonymous person on Lucky Lily.
Okay. She's not a tremendously tall person. It would be a little shorter than average. She's very curly blonde hair, which is cut short, and kind of comes in a bob under her head. and she's wearing a man's suit that has been slightly tailored to fit her. So it fits her very nicely, not just the looks, but she's got the sort of wider pant legs, so it gives her the ability to climb up the sides of buildings. And
this like incredible agility. And as you perch like a,
Batman.
roaring 20s Batman atop the edge of this wrought iron and look down. Lucky Lily, I'm actually going to have you do our first draw. To continue to follow them in and stay out of sight, I am going to have you roll I'm going to have you draw an agility for stealth on this one. It's not going to have to be very high. So for everybody at home, we're going to do a little like how-to. We're going to use something new in Roll20, the cards. I didn't know if you know this, but you can have cards in Roll20, which is the coolest thing ever. So I've set it up to work for Capers, which has been really cool. You're going to see that in action. But in Capers, like Craig said, we don't roll dice, we draw cards. So each character obviously has a character sheet, and agility is one of the Traits, thank you. I'm sorry, I was going to say skills, that's incorrect. One of the traits at the top that they can use to do things, like in this case, a stealth check that I'm going to have her make. So there is a number on her sheet associated with that. What's your number, Kika?
My agility is 3.
3. So you can draw 3 cards from your deck. Right?
Does she have the stealth skill?
Oh, yes. Do you? Because if you do, you get to add another card to that, I believe.
Can I give the rundown real quick?
Yeah, stealth, absolutely.
Basically, yeah, you've got a whatever your trait is, 1 to 3, and it can be higher if you've got the appropriate superpower. Mm-hmm. But typically 1 to 3. And then there's also a series of skills, and if you have the appropriate skill for what you're trying to do, you add 1 to it, and that total amount is called in the game your card count, and that's the number of cards that you get to flip up to. You can flip up to that many. You'll be flipping 1 at a time. Yep. And we'll see how that plays out when we go. But you basically, you flip 1 at a time. And for this case, for Lily, her maximum is 4.
Yep, maximum 4 cards, and then I set basically a scale of what she needs to hit to successfully make that stealth, and both the face value of the card and the suit of the card will affect what it is and how successful it is. So let's go ahead. Let's have Kika do our first draw of cards. So 4 she can drop on the table, and then just kind of like, I liken it to blackjack almost. You flip 1 card, like Craig said. If you think you can do better, you can flip another. You're not required to flip all 4. You can do it until you reach the success level.
Yeah, you can stop at any time.
Mm-hmm. Boop, boop. Look at those pretty cards coming up on screen. That looks so good.
Let's flip the first one. That's not so good. Let's flip another.
We're growing. That will do it. I was going to say, that is definitely a success there. So,
nice.
Yeah, that worked out nicely for you. So you do, in fact, even through the, past the barmaid, we'll call her, the person that is taking the password at the door, as all 3 of you actually slip in, and you like scoot right past them, and you join instantly by the sound of the music and the speakeasy, the smoke, something you probably know very well. It feels almost like home. And it is Big Sly who is tending his bar. You see a face come in the door, one that you've never seen before, and you know everybody's face.
Hey, Dot.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump back to that check real quick?
Yeah.
Just a note for people who are watching. You revealed that the Jack was a success right away. That is not necessarily how you have to play. We can kind of keep it simple and start easy, but the game, when you're flipping the cards, it kind of works like every trait check is a little bit of a gambling game, because if Dot wanted to, she could not reveal what the check or what the target score is. And so Lily would have had to decide, okay, I think a Jack is probably good enough, and I'm going to stick with that, or gamble thinking maybe Jack isn't good enough.
Right.
And take the next card. and then potentially, do much better or potentially fail.
Right, and it wasn't a terribly hard one. That's why I gave it to her
That's fine.
in this case. But yes, as things get tougher and as the stakes rise, I will definitely not be giving them their skill checks so that the gamble becomes more difficult.
Yep.
So, and you see her, their big slice, basically slip through the door, behind the both of them, Bertrand and the lion, just doing their thing. But the bar still seems relatively full and packed with people.
There are a lot of people between me and them at this point.
I would probably say so. I don't exactly know how the bar is laid out or how your speakeasy's laid out, if it's like a narrow type thing, but I suspect it's probably pretty packed either way, and you're going to have to fight through some people if you wanted to speak with her.
So I'll talk to my buddy here, Paulie. My buddy Paulie handles some of the lighter issues around here for me. I want to have him go talk to Joey and try to find out why he let somebody in behind him like that. Because I'm not happy about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, slipped in. So you're going to him or to her? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, they're headed behind the bar to put the kegs away, so they're headed your direction anyways.
Okay.
Right. So your lieutenant comes over, basically, your right hand man comes over and talks to me. Right. Good. And I give him. So he almost makes me drop whatever I'm carrying, right? And I turn around and I'm like, "What the hell is that for? Come on, you almost made me drop this thing." What do they say to me?
Do you want me to play Polly or do you want to do it, Chelsea?
That is up to you, sir. If you have an idea for Polly, go for it. If not, then I will Polly. I'll Polly my best Polly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll run with it. Why not?
All right, go for it. I'd rather you do it anyways.
Joey, man, you gotta watch out behind you. Who is this?
Who's who? What are you talking about?
Turn your ass around and look.
Yeah. I look. Do I see them?
How hidden are you, Lily? Like, how hidden are you wanting to make yourself?
I don't want to be entirely unseen, but I want, maybe they'll catch sight of me for, a moment, and then they'll lose me.
Yeah.
Every so often.
Perfect. Yeah, you guys do catch a female, is what is pointed out to you, kind of ghostly dodging through the crowded space, and but there's nothing odd about a woman in the bar.
Yeah, but this person's not supposed to be back there, right? This is someone we've never seen before.
You've never seen him before, and only Big Sly watched him slide through. Got
it. Okay. Well, Polly did too, I guess, because Polly's ringing me out right now.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So then, I look at Polly and I'm like, well, what the hell are you doing ratting me out? Why aren't you fixing this? Why would you take this time right now and try to just bust my chops instead of fixing this problem? What's wrong with you?
Joey, it came from the boss, okay?
Came from the boss. I don't care who it came from. This is a problem, and rather than fixing the problem, you're complaining about me. You know what we do with people like you at the docks? I forget about it. And I just later, Polly, as I just stroll over to the person. Which is ostensibly lucky, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Which we never get. And I say, hey, excuse me, miss.
Yes?
Hey, I'm not sure this is the way to the ladies' bathroom. Do you want to go back to the front of the place?
How about this? You know I'm not supposed to be here, and I know you know I'm not supposed to be here, so how about if I impress you in the next 3 seconds, you let me stay?
I'm open to being convinced, but can you persuade me?
I'm sure we can make a persuasion happen.
That's
a charisma.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, it would be a charisma trait check.
You need to convince me if you're cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's because I'm I don't know. My boss is right. my boss is busting my chops about this, miss. I'm not really sure, but then again, screw him, you know. So like, I'm thinking about it.
So I got to draw for this.
Yep. So you'll want to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah. So you're gonna do a skill. A trade check. For charisma in this. And if you like, Craig said, if you've got a skill, you can add an extra card to it. And you want to clear your last playing cards. You can right click and like select them all, and you should be able to take them, and it'll drop into a discard pile for you.
Well, you leave the one in there that you already had in there. Oh, never mind.
Oh, too late. It's been cleared. It's all right.
That's okay, because that just discards it. That might have been. That's just something to keep in mind, everybody, too. Is
if you don't play it, you can keep it.
Any card that you didn't flip, keep it there, because that's really technically the next card on top of your deck.
Right, that's true. I didn't even think about that. That's smart.
It's okay.
All right, cool. Yeah. So another charisma draw there.
Okay, so I have 2 in charisma, and I don't have any sort of persuasion. The closest I have is deception.
Yeah, we're not deceiving him, not yet, anyways.
So let's do 2.
Sure.
So we got a 4 and a 2.
And a 2. So you flipped for the 2, so we got to keep the 2. It's she's not terribly convincing. You don't know if it's because she just doesn't. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why. You tell me, Lily. Why exactly, and how do you not convince him?
I think it's very obvious that he doesn't have my attention. I'm sort of looking for, like, I'm sort of scanning around the place looking for someone, and that sort of makes me feel like seem extra shifty.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dot, do you want to bring the suit? Do you want to bring the suits of the cards into play?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Yep. Nope. Not yet.
All right. Look, I'm sure whatever you got is fine, miss. But look, I have a reputation, and I gotta protect it. Let's go. And I like put my arm around you, and like, you know, like kind of like guide you, like, and we're walking. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Casually try to slip out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, you know, arrest you right now or anything like that. I'm like, come on, miss, let's go.
Yeah.
You know.
If you did, you could make that agility. That would also be an agility check against probably.
Yeah. You're just gonna draw your whole deck now, aren't you?
I know. Just like go.
Put your hands on me.
I was about to say, and in this case, this is where we can actually add suits, because if you're gonna want to keep a hold of her, Joey, you're gonna need to draw against her. It's kind of how I look at it. Like you would want to. So you could do it as strength or an agility, but it's basically like who keeps hold of who kind of game.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm into that. What this looks like is like I'm not really like bear hugging you or anything like that. But like if I win, it will probably look like I'm just like holding you with one finger, like I'm just like keeping you by like your jacket or like one of my fingers is like keeping you as you're like trying to scurry.
Right.
But like let's see what happens.
Okay. So because
right.
there are now 2 people doing checks, I will say against one another, if you would. Basically, we will go into the deeper rules of the face value of the card versus the suit of the card. Yeah.
PvP in the first 15 minutes.
PvP. That's all right. I had a feeling this was going to happen, and I guess this is probably a good time for me to tell all of you out there, we are playing criminals. We're probably going to do bad things like steal stuff, possibly kill some people. So just be prepared for that. That's my warning. I put it out there that we're playing gangsters. So, all right, go for it. Yeah, PvP.
Typically, when it's player on player, each of you guys flip your first card together, and then you're comparing against each other, and you're kind of escalating as you go.
Yep, it's like playing a hand of cards. It's brilliant.
And you draw the number equal to the stat that's relevant here, and mine would be strength. I hopefully I positioned it to be strength that I'm resisting with here.
Yeah, we could say strength. She mentioned she wanted to do like a slip away. I'm sure you're probably kind of grappling her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. That's what I had in my head.
So strength and agility.
All right. So do we draw all the cards first and then reveal, or do we should we do it one at a time?
That's up to you. You have to flip them one at a time, and you have to flip them at the same time. So you guys will want to 1, 2 flip, 1, 2 flip.
Are you ready? Are you ready to flip the first card?
Would I be using acrobatics for this?
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, I'll give you an extra one for that.
Oh, then I will also have my 4 cards out then.
Nice. Okay. Oh, you got one too. Oh, this just escalated. Okay. Flip first card.
Ready?
Oh, we got a Joker on the table. Oh, now I have to look up the Joker stuff. Here we go.
Yeah, what does that mean?
So the red Joker is the bad Joker, in this case, and we consider that a botch, which immediately ends your turn. So there are 2 Jokers in everybody's decks. The red Joker is, like I said, the bad Joker, which means it's like your nat 1 kind of a thing, like flat fail.
Oh, cool.
Right? The good Joker means that you gain an extra boon and can take an additional trade action. So it's kind of like a success of some kind if you draw the black one. So in this case, no matter how hard you try, it doesn't even matter what you do. Lucky Lily is lucky, in fact, and slips free of your grasp just like boom, right out of your grasp, faster than you could like blink, and she's free of you, and the 2 of you stand once again facing one another at a cordial distance in the bar on the way to the door.
Well, you're probably going away from me because I would be trying to pursue you, right? But like, hey, get back here.
I just ducked under your arm, like did a little spin and sort of walked away, took someone's drink, and then I looked back at you while I was taking the drink.
Come on. Yeah, you got to be kidding me as I like go after you, right?
Oh, yeah. Big Sly, you're seeing all this go down.
Hey, like, lady, I'm like calling at you, like, come here, come on. I'm not gonna. Come on. I'm through being nice. Like.
I enjoy your persistence, but seriously, I'm not interested.
All right,
It's not a matter of interest. It's a matter of principle.
This has piqued my interest.
Yeah, it doesn't. Not very many people escape the grasp of the lion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over there, and Big Sly is not big stature-wise. He's like 5'4". Got the nice clothes, the silk shirt, silk tie. He's got a big old stogie in his hand. He's walking over. He's like, Joey, come on, man. What's going on here?
And I point over to, or at least whatever where at last I thought I saw Lucky, and being like, this girl slipped right out of my grasp. Don't worry, I got her.
I'm not there. I'm standing slightly behind you and next to you, and I lean on your shoulder.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I immediately grab you. Say, we got ourselves. I'm not sure it's a miss or a spider monkey.
I like you a lot. I tell you what, Joey, why don't you bring our guest over to the bar here? We'll have a drink, discuss things.
All right, yeah. I let go of you, like from like now you're not going anywhere to like, okay. I mean, if it seems like it's cool with you, Sly, then all right, Sly, if it's all right with you, then, and I do that, and then like brush my jacket off, and yeah, we go to the bar.
Sort of brushes herself off, nods to Big Sly, and says, "Well, at least someone around here knows how to treat a lady."
I literally mock you. Oh, looks like someone knows how to treat a lady.
I'll motion for her to go first, and if she does pass, I'll just kind of look at Joey like.
Yeah. We're literally having a silent conversation. We're like,
yeah. As the 3 of you approach the bar, Bertrand is back there loading, or like lugging these barrels in like a stacking formation, we'll say, or just like unloading it. However, I guess you do that. I don't know. I've never owned a speakeasy, but I assume that's what one would do. But as the camera cuts outside, Killa has maintained post, and you've been watching people come and go, and something strange catches your eye. Out of the right side, down an alleyway, darts a small figure. Seems to maybe be going around the back side of this building.
Definitely immediately focused on that.
Are you going to pursue, or do you want to just hold? Like, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, she's inside. I know where she is, so I need to see what this is.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I see. Like your actual target. So, I'm guessing you're doing that with stealth as well?
Yeah.
Is that a skill that you have? Stealth?
I have.
I can't remember.
It is.
I feel like you did have stealth as one of your skills, because you mentioned being sneaky.
Yeah, because I have super agility. So
if that's the case, and you're super agile,
even without stealth, she's really
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you're super stealthy. So you managed to slide down one of the wrought iron poles from the third floor down to the ground level. It is, by your assumption, probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The streets are dying down, and only the truly lush stay out this late. And as you go around the side of the building, whatever you catch just a glimpse of whatever it is round another corner, knocking over the lid of a trash can. You can hear the speakeasy in the back corner of this building where it is secretly located.
And does this figure seem to be going toward?
It seems to be going to the very back door of this building. It's fast and small.
I am definitely going to follow it.
Okay.
Is it so the door, is it an open space in front of the back door, or is it really are there great big garbage bins and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd say these streets pretty well. And you know that around the backside of the building that the cat club is cornered in or cushioned in is there's a basement door. The only way out the back is actually a hatch in the ground that sits between a couple of dumpsters. It's pretty well hidden, and the only person that probably uses it is staff to take the trash out. You actually have to go down and back up through the basement.
Okay. So this isn't even the secret speakeasy entrance.
No, this is the super secret back entrance to the speakeasy. Yeah.
Okay. So this is definitely not cool that somebody's sneaking in there.
Yeah, and what is your relationship? Do you know Big Sly very well?
I'm not sure. I mean, he takes deliveries, right?
He does. That is he makes deliveries. That is pretty well known knowledge.
Yeah. So, I mean, since I work for them, and I've probably come along on a few deliveries.
Yeah, or the Moisey family hires him a lot. You could have been point for him to make sure he's not, especially if it was a very expensive shipment.
Exactly.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can you be a spurned ex-lover?
Oh my god. A spurned ex-lover.
In some cast, yeah, or maybe the one got away, it's never worked out, that kind of thing.
Never happened.
It
and
never.
It's totally Sly's fault.
Oh yeah. She never.
Sly never committed.
She never told him why she rejected him.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't have to do it. You don't
No, I like it. I like it. It's great.
Why not? We're just gangsters with all mixed up lives. So this is turning into a soap opera. Yeah. So you guys have this unspoken something that has gone down. Maybe it's just not been spoken about. And either way, this back door well. And to this place, and therefore know that it's not something that anybody should be using.
All right, I'm gonna follow them in. They're going.
Yeah. So when you round the corner, you see who this child, probably not 7 or 8 years old, has already managed to undo the bolt lock that was on it, pick it clean before you can round the corner, and is closing the double set of basement doors as he enters the building.
Damn, kid.
I know, right?
I'll follow him in.
All right, cool. At this point, are you trying to stay stealthy?
Yes.
Yes. All right, then I am going to actually have you make a trait check for that.
Now, I don't... So I have my skills up here. They're in the skills box.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I do not have stealth.
So you can simply pull for an agility trait check then. So whatever number is in your agility box, you'll just draw that many cards.
Because I am the agilist. Okay, so I draw 4 cards.
Choose.
Oh, choose.
Yep,
Sorry.
choose. Yeah, so you want to use choose. And then it'll give you the spectrum and you drag and drop them over to the table.
Okay. 1, 2.
Did you get the right color? Are you also purple? Yeah, everybody should have a specific deck.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I misread it.
Yeah, you should be the red one.
Oh!
We'll just leave those right here for her. Because that way they don't get lost in everybody's pile. Yeah.
Alright. Properly this time.
Alright.
3, 4.
Ooh, lots of them. You are very sneaky. Alright, so flip them just kind of in the order you drew them. You'll just make that right click and flip. Whoop. Alright, 6.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with one more.
Alright.
Oh.
A 7. Oh.
Are you gonna risk it?
I think that's pretty good.
At a 7. All right. So in this case, it's just a normal success. The suit doesn't really matter. But a 7 is not quite enough to not be noticed by whatever it is. And as you crawl into the cellar of this building in the French quarters, really, of New Orleans, it goes into what is clearly like meant to be a wine cellar. There are barrels. Even though it's dark, you can kind of see some of the light pouring in from the top of the stairs. Barrels stacked across one wall. There's some kind of rack with bottles on it as well. And 2 rows of barrels going kind of down the middle, creating these aisles. And as you step in and attempt to remain unseen, at the end of the aisle appears the boy, like right in the aisle, and he stares at you, kind of strangely hunched and not standing up straight, and he tips his head a little bit, and the silhouette it makes should send a little bit of a shiver down your spine as the kid looks over his shoulder towards the party and begins to run up the stairs.
I will follow.
I was going to say, are you wanting to just follow him, or are you trying to stop him?
No, okay. I want to see what he's doing. He hasn't done anything.
He has not done anything yet.
So I'm just like, what is he doing here? I've never seen him here before. But he hasn't done anything. He's just
He has
here.
not. He has not done anything.
So, yeah, I want to find out what's going on before I make any serious decisions.
So he pitter-patters up the stairs and into the light, basically, which should put him, I'm gonna maybe guess, behind the bar, or at least in some kind of staff-related area. As you follow him, he is dashing around corners, and he makes a hard right-hand turn into a office or some kind of closet space to try to lose you.
I'm just gonna follow him right in.
As you round the corner, something hard and metal, like a bucket, smashes you across the face.
But,
Like, he, whacks you hard with it, almost like across the face and the backside of your head as you enter the space. I guess this would qualify as our first little bit of combat here. If you can believe that. So, yeah, this kid seems to reel back, and he's going to make another attack on you.
Okay.
He's made one, so it is your turn.
All right. I think I am going to kind of bend over and, tackle him. I want to
Oh, like a grapple?
Yeah.
That would be a strength trait check against this kid. He's going to make a strength 2.
All right.
I finally get to draw cards. What up?
Okay.
With the fisticuffs skill, if you have it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You get bonuses to those. Yep.
Fisticuffs covers boxing and wrestling.
And wrestling, that's right. But did you choose that one? I know Eric did.
Oh, I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
I know Eric's did.
That doesn't sound like me. Nope, that's not me. Nope, not.
The boxer, yeah.
How do I get rid of these cards that I've already drawn again?
So the ones you've already drawn, you can select them by right-clicking and like dragging to select multiples, and then when you right-click on them, there will be a take option, and it'll take them and drop them into a discard pile above your name.
Take cards.
There you go. And now you should have 2 left. So we'll turn at the same time. I'm gonna have to come down here so I can actually get that option. And when you're ready, flip. Oh, 7. So the kid actually, you like barrel into him. With the heart, that's just considered a normal success. So he is a kid, right? There's that train, toot toot. The train comes through New Orleans. You can hear it from the docks. No, the kid actually, surprisingly enough, almost like a football player, like presses against you and actually stops your momentum. And he has met you in your grapple, significantly stronger than a child should be.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna say, I'm not trying to hurt you. Just, what are you doing?
He goes, stop following me, and he like pushes you. He pushes you off of him, and he reaches for the door to try to leave again.
Just wait.
Something falls out of his pocket as he bolts from the door.
I grab it. The thing.
The thing. A small pocket Bible hits the ground. Simply the Old Testament, not the New Testament, and it's pocket sized. And as it hits the ground, it kind of lets out a poof, as if maybe it's old.
It immediately goes into my pocket.
Yeah. But the kid has bolted, and after you take the time to pick it up and you look, the kid is nowhere to be found, at least not down the hallway you followed him up. You don't know if he went back out or if he went into the speakeasy farther. But you stand now in this back room, and you hear the chatter of Big Sly, you know that voice all too well, the lion, and a female voice near the bar, which is not far from you. There's like an entrance that leads you into the back area of the bar itself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the bar area.
Same thing. Yeah, it's bustling. They sit there chatting.
You're you walk into a middle of a conversation like that with like the end of a joke is happening where it's and then I told my friend, "You're so dumb, you almost smuggled rum into Jamaica."
And everybody's like, yeah, drinking, sloshing. Yeah. Oh, the lion, always the jokester.
I'll come up behind Big Sly and elbow him.
Like, who the fuck? Oh.
You should have watched your back there, Sly. He was coming up on you.
Hi, Callisto.
You're some kind of weirdo in here, eh?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. What are you doing here?
Stuff. But
we all know what happened the last time stuff was happening. As I like take a sip and say, "Sorry, it's not my place to talk, miss."
All right, so I'm outside for reasons, and I see somebody coming in. So I go and look, and there's some kind of weird kid running around in the back.
Yo, Joey, I mean, there's a kid running around. You want to go handle that, buddy, old pal?
Throw a bucket at me.
Sure.
I mean, if you can handle a bucket-wielding little kid, which I hope you can.
I don't know. I mean, you might want to send someone a little bigger.
I can handle it better than you can handle relationships, as I say as I'm leaving.
Oh!
Hey, Joey, that hurts me too, man. Come on.
Yeah, it hurts all of us. It was a long fight.
Bastard. He's a good kid, but man, God.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
Never stops. Let it go.
I mean, I don't come busting into your, workplaces, so
Well, the kid broke in. Picked that lock faster than anybody I've ever seen. So...
Are you saying you're worried about me now? Huh? Of all times, you're worried about me now?
A kid can pick your lock. You think that's something you should be worried about?
I'm thinking you're playing a game with me now.
I'm not.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Why would I?
You couldn't get enough of old Sly? Is that what it is?
Oh, man.
I got nothing out of you.
Well, I guess you've done your job here, miss. I guess you can find your way back out, right? I mean,
I'm like
away.
pouring myself a drink.
Yeah, you start helping yourself to a drink, and you bump almost into Bertrand, who has finished finally, finished up unloading the shipment that came in, and the five of you actually have managed to convene around the bar area. It is early in the morning, and only a few stragglers kind of remain. The singer has left the stage, and the five of you have this conversation over drinks. Now, the lion has, gone off to search for this child?
Yeah.
Why don't you make me, there's a perception trait check that you can draw for.
My perception. Okay, my sense probably comes into play, so my 3 cards are kind of out.
Great, let's do it.
So first card.
Oh. What is that?
I'm gonna hold.
I would say, for sure, you would want to. So, it does give you what is known as a boon. It is a success, but because you rolled a club, which is on the scale of the suites, the lowest, via alphabetical order, it means that you get something called a boon. And a boon...
Nope.
Right? Oh, no, spade is the...
Clubs are bad.
Clubs are bad. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I'm sorry, complication. It's not called a boon, it's called a complication.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, it's called a complication. So you get a success with a complication. That's it. So the complication impedes... So let's say... You begin searching, and you go down where she said that she saw the kid enter. You check the back door. In fact, the lock is off of it, so somebody did pick it. The chain lays on the street. You come back through, and you're trying to find this kid. You search high and low and don't find anything, except all the corks out of the kegs in the basement.
So, the basement is leaking right now?
It's not leaking. Right. Some of them are empty. They're just empty ones, but it looks like somebody, even some of the full ones, somebody has gone through and unplugged the cap, left them to drain, maybe? You're not really sure, right. But all of the corks are out of them. And there is liquid on the floor everywhere, which seems to be pressing, to say the least.
Yeah. I'm really gonna stop all of them. I'm gonna stop searching for the kid and have to pluck these things up.
You're plugging them, and then you get a strange smell, of gasoline. As you're sloshing through this on the floor, you're not sure if that's what it is, but it has a more potent scent even than that of the moonshine. That's all over your boots.
That's not good. I probably will try to call up fruitlessly to somebody above. Hey, I smell gas.
You guys hear a voice from the basement.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they all hear you. There's no music playing at this point, so they should hear you.
Right. No kid, though. And I guess I continue. Once I've tried to, as best I can, stop whatever's been leaked, I'm going to go look for this kid, right?
I was going to say, there's no sign of the kid. No matter how hard you search, he does not seem to be here. But what you do find, as you once again check all the entrances and exits, is pinned to the door, the back alleyway door, is a note.
Well, how easy is this note to read? Because my schooling wasn't that great.
Great. Well, it's written by an 8-year-old, so
it's perfect. It's my reading level.
Exactly. So I think we're okay. So the it does look to be written in a child's hand, except for the signature at the bottom.
Okay.
It is a note calling from meeting by Grandma Moisey herself. Signed, at least at the bottom, in her signature.
Meeting by Grandma Moisey. At this point, I probably know about Grandma Moisey and what this means, and this means this note needs to get to Big Sly pronto.
Yeah.
So if there's no sign, is the lock completely jammed and broken? Can I like lock this place up?
Yeah, you can relock it. It looks like it was a very clean pick.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm gonna. So I've done what I can to like set this thing right. Obviously, I haven't cleaned up the pool. They don't pay me enough for that. But I have the note. I've locked it up so no one else can get down there. And I'm gonna go back up and barge into Big Sly and Kylie's conversation, and give them the bad news.
You check. Yeah, it looks like a lot of your stock has been destroyed, and there is a faint smell of gasoline in the basement. Not enough for like an explosion or a fire or anything. More as somebody tried to ruin what you had. There was no salvaging it.
I probably come in like, Sly, we got a problem. We got a problem.
That catches my interest, and I will. What's going on there?
Well, I'm not sure what's worse. And I give you this note, and like I give you a chance to read the note. It doesn't take too long, but like at the same time as you process the note about the meeting, I tell you that the stock is basically depleted. Stock's gone in the basement, right? So like, and all the cork's been knocked out in the basement too. It smells a little bit like gas. I was trying to tell you that, but maybe you didn't hear me. I don't know what you want me to do about that.
Just crumple the note up and throw it on the ground. Mother.
Yeah. I look at you like I'm not smart. I don't make plans, right? I'm not a plan maker. So I kind of like, yeah, that doesn't seem great.
Is Bertrand still here?
Oh, yeah.
Bertrand says, yeah. So what do you do to get in bed with the Moiseys?
I mean, if anything, I should be asking you that, shouldn't I? I mean, you're the one that makes the deliveries from them.
Hey, they pay me, I drop off. That's all that happened.
I mean, did you set up something here? Catch me off guard, huh?
Let's stop with this foolishness. I've been a good employee. I bring you your supply many times. What reason I got to backstab you?
Listen, Bertrand.
And if I was, why I hang around here? I ain't that dumb.
No, I don't quite know if that's the truth just yet, Bertrand. But what do you know about these folks, huh? Where they at? You know where they're at, right?
Dot, how much? I mean,
so you know,
I've grown up around them. How well do I know them? How much am I free to make stuff up here? How much do you want to interject?
Yeah, so you know that you make up or you take pickups from this location that is near a dock in the bayou. This is like their business spot, if you would. There's a storage facility, and you frequent this place often. You have only ever been to the Moiseys' personal house. Deep in the bayou, past all of the stills, a couple times, even in your life. They keep themselves very secluded, and one of the things that you agreed to is not to talk about where they're located. Though the note did ask, suspiciously enough, them to meet at the docks.
Say, I know the Moiseys for a long time. I work for them. They don't particularly care for me, except for Jolelle. She got a crush.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Keep on dreaming, boy.
You want an introduction? Is that what you're saying? Sounds like they're calling you out to come by the dock there, out on the bayou. I know what they're talking about. It's where I make my pickup.
Yeah, I think we need to have a little dialogue. Because I want to understand why they coming in my place, ruining my stock that I just bought off of them.
That is peculiar.
Oh, it's peculiar, all right.
Yeah, I don't see how that makes much sense, but I'm like
Yeah.
sitting on the counter behind the bar, just like drinking whatever
Yeah.
I can find, like, you know, ends of glasses. If there's a bottle open, I'll just
All over the place.
Yeah.
All over.
smoking and yeah.
Yep. And pretty much the five of you are left as the only patrons of this establishment. As the evening succeeds into morning, you can begin to see the sun rise on the horizon out the front door if you were to take a look. As the five of you do have somebody that can take you to this location, or you can try to navigate it yourself. But you were summoned by, well, at least Big Sly was summoned to the Moisey family.
I've got a very nice roadster that's just sitting here.
You do. That you could all take. And if I am correct, Lily, your last encounter before you left Atlantic City and were sent on your travels to New Orleans, you were reminded that the Moisey family is important, and gaining information could be valuable.
Yup. I've just been sitting back quietly smiling like I'm watching a good movie.
Yeah. I imagine you just like popcorn.
And I'm kind of staring over Lily a little bit more suspiciously now.
Though she has done, I guess, nothing really suspicious other than show up, right?
Yeah, you were watching me the whole time.
Yeah. New face, new town, new problems, right? Mm-hmm.
At least it's a cute face. What you doing here?
Oh, you know, girls gotta find work somewhere.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, Callista, we're trying to actually, you know, do business here. Can you leave the flirting till at least afterwards? And for God's sakes, I'm standing right here. You know what? Here, you have the conversation, Joey. Come on, man. Let's go.
You know,
I'm good, Sly.
No, we just gotta drain some of the stock and see what we can save from it.
All right.
I'll walk over to Lucky.
She'll just gesture to a chair across from her, sort of lean back.
So, you know these fucks?
I do now.
But, why are you here?
Oh, you know, just in the business,
Mm-hmm.
networking, as it were.
Well, you up for some entertainment? Because, I think that if we hide out, so, you know, a little ways away, and watch this conversation go down, it's gonna be a good time.
She seems to think for a moment and then sort of shakes her head and says, "No, business before pleasure."
Bertrand is sitting at the bar eating pickled eggs, pretending like he's not paying attention to this, and he is listening to every single word and making notes of what's going on with these two.
Well, I ain't got nothing else to do right now. I mean, they don't want me to come with them.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody hiring me right now, so
I am afraid I am interested in seeing the Moisey family up close.
well, you go with them.
Having worked for them before, you know that the Moisey family doesn't allow just anyone to see them.
I didn't say it was good advice.
Yes, no, you're right. But you do know that to be summoned either it's either really great or really horrible. There's no kind of gray ground there with Grandma Moisey.
So, maybe I might be able to get you. Might know somebody who might know somebody. I don't know.
I would like to be on good terms when meeting them, preferably.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Well, maybe we should get out of here. Unless it's really good. In which case we should be here. You gambling type.
This is the point where Bertrand just pipes up from out of nowhere. There's always money to be made when the Moisey's involved. And then he just goes back to eating.
Just a voice, yeah.
He's on like his fifth pickled egg.
Oh, gross. Gosh.
What kind of skills you got? What do you do?
Well, let's just say they don't call me lucky for nothing.
All right. You think, Bertrand, you think they might be hired?
I suppose Big Sly could be convinced to spend a few dollars.
Big Sly? I don't know. She wanna work for Grandma Moisey.
Well, that'd take a whole nother negotiation. You gotta get audience with her first. Good luck on that. But the best way to start that is to make some sort of contact with one of them, and that can happen out at the dock.
You'll be all right. We tag along, hang around in the background, see what's happening.
Got plenty of room in my roadster.
I love it. I love those roadsters.
So do the 5 of you saddle up in the roadster and head towards the dock area? Is that what I'm to understand?
Can 5 people? I don't think 5 people can fit in a roadster.
I was about to say, is it a 4-seater?
I'm not very big, and I don't need to be sitting down with a seatbelt on. So
we'll say it's got a rumble seat in the back too.
Sidecar.
Yeah, I'm
No,
sitting.
no,
I'm
sidecar.
I'm sitting in the back.
Does everybody know
I have the
what a rumble
worst
seat?
seat.
Does everybody know what a rumble seat is?
Yeah.
The little flip up thing in the back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you have like a little rumble seat, and cars only go like a max of 30 miles an hour at top speed. So you zoom yourself actually out of the city proper, and as the city fades behind you and the sun rises or begins to rise on the horizon, it creates this beautiful silhouette in a pink sky. As you draw near to the swamp, the smells and the sounds change. They become damp and moist, and the morning air is cold even. The frogs and crickets greet you, and you drive for about 10 minutes. Bertrand knows his way well. Down a dirt path that's mostly soft ground and mud. All the way out, which honestly, if you didn't have a decent ride, you probably would not be able to make it on foot. The mud is so thick. And as you pull up, there is a small storage house, a dock area, and a small, looks like some kind of picnic table that sits unkept with nobody around.
By the docks?
I turn the car around and position it in such a way that I don't have to pull like some sort of Y turn to get out of here. If things go poorly, I want to be able to jump in and go forward directly out.
Yeah, you know that, like I said, this is where you meet them and where you pick up. So you wheel the car around no problem into a better position to make a quick exit, which is a smart strategy. But strangely enough, even though you were summoned to meet, nobody seems to be here.
I don't remark about how that's odd just yet.
Boss, nobody's here.
Isn't that a little weird?
Seems odd to me.
Bunch of smart asses.
I think I'm gonna
kind of, as soon as I realized that, she's kind of joking and flirting and everything, and then as soon as you get there and she realizes that, no one's around, she's going to pull out a rifle and move into the bush a little bit and vanish.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, when you say vanish,
I do mean literally.
She disappears into the foliage.
Oh, you mean you actually go like invisible?
She disappears.
So usually
It makes it look like she's
right.
going.
It's that gif of him like going into the bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys watch as she basically disappears in front of your eyes. It may have been the first time that you've seen somebody with this ability. Maybe not, but your eyes do not deceive you. She did in fact go invisible.
And I'm gonna go, I can move while invisible. I do have those abilities.
Okay.
And yeah. So I got the move boost.
Okay, so you can move farther.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna basically just go around, but as quietly as possible, and just kind of search around because I feel like this is a trap and I want to start looking.
Sure. You can roll. You can make a check for what is that? That's perception. Yeah, it is perception.
Yeah, good.
If you want to like actually search for things other than like what your naked eye sees.
Yeah, perception, sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
sense too. Yeah, you could take sense and get some extra information.
Perception, sense.
The sense skill, if you have
If you
it.
have the sense skill, it'll add an extra card for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Every trait check has a trait and a skill, and you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have the skill. You can always default to the trait.
Okay.
No, I actually have very few skills, which I'm very specialized.
That's all right. See how you do.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not quite high enough. Let's try this.
Yeah, you probably want to
Oh!
pick that new card. Hey, that's a good
Hey,
card.
that is a good card. Okay. So, as you begin, your gut instinct says something. That actually, is that a boon too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Oh, nice. Okay. So, instead of a complication, she gets a boon, which means that things will get more difficult for the other person or the target of the trait check. So, in this case, you begin searching around. The only real building here is the storage unit that is attached to the kind of rickety dock, handmade dock that cuts out over the bayou. And the ground that you stand on near it is kind of squishy, though still solid. As you search around it, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. The door for the storage unit is locked. Do you want to try to pick it? Or open it? Unless Bertrand has a key.
Yeah, I would assume he has a key. So I think instead of trying to open the door or anything, and I'm still invisible at this point, I'm just gonna kind of look around for like, it's probably made of wood, and I'm just gonna look for like any gaps between the boards and stuff that I can look through.
Yeah, you peer through, and at that high, something catches your senses. As you peer through on the ground inside, instead of being a full storage unit, which you expected to see, there seems to be maybe the body of somebody lying on the ground on the inside.
Oh, that's bad. Okay. And all right, I don't see anybody else around.
Other than the five of you there, no.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. I'll go back, and then I will, instead of freaking people out, I mean, as tempting as it is, I will go into the bush and then become visible again. And then walk out of the bush like I was hiding in there the whole time.
Bloop, you appear.
Woo. And I'll come over and Bertrand, you got a key?
Do I?
This is a store. This is the storage you pick up and drop off to. So I would suspect probably yes.
Because
Of course, Monsieur. I can take a look.
there's a body in there. Ain't
Well,
nobody around.
Bertrand just sort of like, oh.
Yeah.
Somebody died in there. Something here ain't right.
He goes to take a look, and
And I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna just like walk with him, but I'm gonna be like looking around.
As you pop the door open, it kind of opens like a barn door. It swings wide and large, and as you pull back, the door swings open, and the morning light pours in over the body of all three of the Boise girls, laid out with their throats slit. Oh, I can't hear you. You might be muted there, Craig.
Bertrand has a satchel that he carries around. He reaches in there and pulls out a shotgun and pumps it.
Yeah.
And starts looking around immediately.
Surprisingly enough, this is empty. It's been cleared out. What little bit that you
I'm
left...
looking outside.
Oh. As you spin and you pan outside, you don't see anyone. She just searched the area. It was empty, at least from what you could tell.
I reckon we might be the ones about to get pinned for this. Let's get out of here.
That's a good idea. Gather them all up. And Bertrand goes to just kind of give a quick look over the bodies to see if there's anything that, just anything at all evidence-wise, anything that strikes him as out of the ordinary.
Yeah, quite a few things. First, the other three of you, how are you feeling about the fact that there are 3 dead bodies of girls under the age of, 18, laid out with their throats slit in a barn?
I am not happy. I think she's gonna. She would kind of be glancing back at them every now and then, but just too paranoid to really focus.
I imagine be quite indifferent, to be honest.
So the first time you've seen a dead body?
I'm in kind of disbelief, being like, what kind of monster? I probably would say, what kind of monster would do this?
Lily probably looks very visibly nervous and frustrated and confused, because it's not really so much that this happened, it's more who it happened to that's bothering her.
Yeah.
Bertrand kind of looks over the bodies, turns his back on everybody in the process. Looks like he's, kind of trying to see what's, if there's anything in there that might provide some sort of a clue as to what's going on. And he is, in fact, doing that and looking, but he's also tearing up, and he's surreptitiously removing one of Jolal's rings. And he treats her body with great respect.
Yeah, as you do remove the ring, no problem. It doesn't look like there was too much of a struggle, at least on them, as you just kind of peer over the bodies. It looks like they were probably surprised. I mean, you were speaking to these girls not 5 or 6 hours ago, right here at this very location.
Do I see anything else that, other than what you've described? Is there any clue, anything going on inside? Is there a footprint? Is there something,
you
somebody
begin,
leave something behind?
Yeah, you begin to search around. Not a whole lot from what you can tell. You can see the car tracks from where definitely people have come and gone, but that's pretty regular. And as you stand here and you begin searching around, it's actually a small sound off in the distance that seems to be getting closer. As the cops begin to
we are going.
Pull your direction.
Let's go now.
It's time to go. Someone's going to pay. And Bertrand comes running back to the car, and he is wiping tears from his eyes. And he is irate. Equal parts anger and grief-stricken.
No.
I'm gonna get in the back, the thing we just named that I for some reason
the roadster.
rumble seat.
Yeah.
With my gun.
Oh,
I'm not,
nice.
but I'm just gonna have it ready.
All right, and do the rest of you hop in the car? What do we do with the bodies? There's roadsters only so big.
We leave them. I mean,
You guys are gonna leave the bodies? Okay.
We can't take them.
Yeah, we have to run.
All right.
We gotta go now.
Just pop in the car and pull the handgun and let's get out of here.
And get out. Yeah, so you guys lock and load. As you draw your weapons, you hop in the car. Where are you headed?
Not here.
Yeah, anywhere but here.
Right here is a dead end. But I assume that the roads that lead around and in and through the bayou, and there's marshy spots and there's relatively dry spots, and the roads it's a maze.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the waterways are a maze of waterways, the roads are a maze of roads. But I would think that Bertrand knows this area fairly well. So it's a question of getting out of this dead end and onto a side road that he knows won't also dead end.
Yeah.
That he can, we can kind of get off of like the main path to get here and just take, kind of snake around to some other.
Yeah, I would say this qualifies as an expertise.
Sure.
So why don't you do that? This is kind of your expertise. Driving is one of those things that you do.
Trying to think, expertise, with conveyances, because it's a drive thing. He knows his way around.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll take a conveyance as the skill on that. For show. Okay. Here we go.
That's no good.
Flipping cards is so much fun. Ooh.
Not a fan of that.
All right, last one.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm going to spend a moxie.
Oh, do it! Yes, moxie, finally. All right, and tell me, Craig, how exactly are you spending that moxie?
Well, I'm using it to get an extra card in this case. Once per turn, you can spend a moxie. Moxie can be spent on a bunch of things. One of the things you can do is once per trait check, you can use it to get an extra card.
Extra card it is. Bring out that moxie. You gotta say it like that, moxie. Oh.
10 of hearts. I'll be going with that.
Yep, that will work. In fact,
hearts is solid. 10 is.
Yep. And 10 was, in fact, what you needed to make. That's a challenging. And so you rack your brains as you're driving basically down these dirt roads, clacking as all of you are hanging on, speeding away from what is inevitably going to be a scene of crime. And as you speed through the bayou, splashing mud up and around, you make a hard left turn, remembering that there is actually a back road that leads kind of up around the bayou and towards the north end of the city. It kind of almost like loops all the way around. It passes an old cemetery that a lot of people say is very spooky. Not a lot of people like to go there. It's one of the very first cemeteries and was a private family-owned cemetery. Do you stop or do you want to keep going?
We're gonna keep going.
Cool. You speed past the cemetery. It does have a small church, and you guys are like hanging on. Some of you may not have ever been out this far, and I would say for Lily, I don't know exactly where Lily comes from, but this is not Kansas anymore. There's nothing here. It's just swamp and rocks and frogs.
And mosquitoes.
And mosquitoes. Lots and lots of mosquitoes. And you speed out. Are you wanting to head back into town, Bertrand? You've definitely outrun the cops. You don't hear them anymore. But are you just going to drive?
I'm going to head back into town, but we're going to take... not take the main highway. We're going to take a side road somewhere, and I'm going to switch out cars on the way.
Okay. You do in fact manage to do that. It is pretty early in the morning. Everybody in New Orleans is fast asleep at 8 o'clock, the morning after the third day of Fat Tuesday. They lay gluttonous in their beds, and there are plenty cars on street and parked in places that you could easily try to jimmy if you would like to do so and switch vehicles for the crew.
Yes, please.
Awesome. Do you have a skill for that?
Um,
I don't know exactly what your
I have the mechanical skill.
mechanical skill.
Mechanicals covers smaller
Right.
electrical devices. Conveyances is all your vehicles. That's like an agility conveyances kind of thing, and that's really Bertrand's specialty.
Yep. Okay. I would say if this would be an expertise that you could use with your conveyance.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna flip again.
Oh!
I don't want a complication. I'll take that.
Alrighty then, that will make sure you don't get a complication. That was pretty impressive. So you
it helps having designed the system and knowing how it works.
Yeah, but the flip of the card, that's just sheer luck there, friend. So you do in fact so you guys do you pick any card in particular? Are you wanting something different than what you had, or what do you pick out?
I want something as common looking as possible, nothing fancy.
Yeah, there's a couple teas out there, and so you walk over knowing that all of you will fit better in a larger vehicle, and you jimmy the door open, no problem. The lock is not very solid, and quickly pump the choke and get it going, and it boots up in. You guys can hop right on in. Where are you taking them, Bertrand? Seem to be driving them.
That's a really good question. I don't think we. I opened that up for discussion. I don't think we want to go.
I imagine all of you like get in the car.
If this is a setup, I don't think we want to go to anybody's home.
No, we can't go to nobody's house. Can't go where they'd expect us. Anybody know somewhere it's empty? Maybe some old plantation somewhere nobody living at. Go hide out.
That's definitely an option. There are empty fields galore on the north side of New Orleans, and like empty space. Let's see. Big Sly, you have quite a few connections, being some upper tier of the crime world here in New Orleans. There are a few other speakeasies, which you might be able to call in some favors and ask some friends. But on a Sunday morning, the day after the end of Fat Tuesday, the best place to go to have peace and quiet would be the church. The one place nobody will be.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Let's go to confession.
Yeah. So there are plenty of those kind of around small churches and gathering places, so that would be an option. The cemetery is also an option. You do also have a speakeasy. You could go there. All of you also probably have places you live, technically, in the city. You don't just stay at the speakeasy, hopefully.
No. God, no.
And I would think that Lily probably signed into some kind of hotel when you first came into town.
Yeah. I would like to check the glove box if this car has one of those.
Right.
Just in case.
Check it for what again?
Just anything. See
Anything?
what's in there.
Oh yeah, you pop it open. There's the usual paperwork and such. Some family photos, like a little string of family photos. But nothing other than that, and there's like a small revolver, like a .38, in the glove compartment.
Take that.
Hey, Dot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to petition for getting a Moxie back for being a crackerjack and having everything go so perfectly.
I would say that is worth that Moxie point back to you.
To explain to the listeners, to the viewers, every character has 3 role-playing anchors, and one of them is the character's identity,
yep.
And that's kind of the thing that the most defining characteristic about your character. And Bertrand is a crackerjack. He's really good at what he does, and so he gains Moxie back when he pulls off, does things skillfully without any complications.
Yes.
Everything goes perfectly.
Right. And please, you guys, because I don't have your character sheets in front of me, if you feel like one of your vices or your virtues or stuff need to be for Moxie, like call it out, like holler it at the rooftops.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be doing that next time.
Yeah,
That's
for
fine.
sure. I like the way that works actually better versus me trying to activate. I love for you guys to activate your stuff because you.
Oh yeah,
characters.
I'd be happy to.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Then I think like we're like figuring out what we're gonna do tonight and like where we're going and stuff. I kind of like get off the car and stuff. I got my hands in my pockets and say, look, if someone's coming for us, they're coming for us. I'm getting a night's sleep in my own place. You know, I look at people and be like, you know, like devil may care kind of thing. Like, you know, if they're gonna find me, they're gonna find me. I'm gonna sleep in my house. You know, I'm gonna show them that I'm not scared. You know, and I was like, later, friends. See you, Sly. You know, as I like get ready to walk back for the night.
Joey,
Like,
it ain't about being scared, man. It's about being smart.
It is.
Right.
I mean, they might come kill your neighbors too.
I don't know if somebody's trying to set us up here, or me up, I guess I should say here. Or just trying to give us a warning or a message. So until we figure out what's going on here, we need to play it smart and not go back to places that they know we are at. All right?
Oh, I'm new in town and I got a room at the hotel. I don't know how many of us can fit there, but
We could at least lie low until dark tonight until we can find someplace better to go.
Good idea. They got a fire escape back entrance.
Yeah, it would. All these
Hey,
buildings
I
have them.
All right, then let's all go up back and sneak in. Nice and quiet.
Yeah.
Is Joey coming along, or are you still intent on going home?
Oh no, I'm coming along. You
Oh,
can continue. Sorry.
Oh, okay, cool. So she tells you the hotel, which is not far from the French Quarters where you all started. You pass the bar, the cat club, and you see there is a boy leaned against the wall as you guys kind of speed past, sitting out front with his arms crossed on his legs. Seems to be just kind of sitting there out the front door. Most people would probably think he was simply loitering. And as you pass by, you speed for it.
Does he look like the kid I saw earlier?
Same kid.
That's him. That's the little shit what unlocks your door.
Are you sure?
You know, I don't have two what ifs about beating some kid's ass. I don't care. If you want to pull his car over, I'll take care of it.
Don't hurt him. Just ask him who he's working for. What's going on? Unless you don't want to be seen there. Maybe we shouldn't be running out in the middle of the street.
Maybe they should be breaking in my bar, ruining my stuff.
While they're talking, I've already gotten out of the car and chased it down the
You
stairs.
like jumped out from the 20-mile-an-hour moving vehicle, all but stepped out, and you walk over. The boy doesn't actually move. He doesn't seem to run from you. He's just kind of leaning against the wall, and he looks up at you.
I got you now, you little twerp, and I grab him.
He goes, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about."
I literally, I'm picking him up. I'm like holding him by the scruff of his neck.
Yeah, he's like,
puppy.
"Hey, let me go. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here."
And I'd look back at the car and say, got him.
Why are you being so mean?
Yeah, why you being so mean?
I backed the car up and motioned him to get in the freaking car.
Oh.
Oh, wait, you're
Sorry,
taking
kid,
the
come with
kid?
All right, you're...
You saw a bunch of gangsters. You guys snatch this kid up off the street, throw him in the car with you, and head for the hotel.
good old Sunday kidnapping.
Well, if we hang around,
I thought we were just gonna ask questions.
If we hang around outside the bar, it's just going to turn into a shootout when the cops show up. So yeah, we're going to take the kid.
That escalated quickly.
We're just asking him some questions. It's fine.
So you guys ride a few more blocks, but you have some time to chat with the kid. He's like, hey, let me go! Let me go! You can't do this!
I want to like turn around to him with my gun in my hand, pointed right at his face,
Jesus.
and be like, "What were you doing in my bar last night, you little shit?"
I don't, And he seems to not be able to get the words out. He seems terrified by the barrel that he's staring down.
I'm gonna put my hand on the gun and lower it down.
I don't know. This man, he paid me. He paid me to come and he told me to just unplug everything and then he paid me money, see? And he pulls out like a wad of cash that clearly this child should not have. And he said he just told me to and then pour gas all over it.
Who?
The preacher man.
The preacher man, huh?
Huh? What preacher man? Speak up, kid.
The
What preacher?
The preacher man. I don't know. He found me on the street. He said if I wanted my sins washed away, I just had to do one good deed. He said I just had to do this one good deed.
Do we know? Does anyone know who this person is?
There are lots of preachers in this town, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like,
he says that he was
preacher?
tall and old.
Did he have
Gotta be more specific, kid. That's every preacher.
kind of hair?
They don't make them young.
He was he had dark hair and he wore them suspenders.
Suspenders. Okay.
Suspenders.
Did he wear glasses or have a mustache?
No.
Okay.
Chelsea, could I use my telepathy power to do a deep probe on
You
this?
sure could.
So
You
I'm
can
gonna
totally
do-
dig into that little kid's mind.
Yeah, I want to use a boost to try to get a deep reading on him.
Okay.
It's nothing but comic books all the way down. I'm sorry.
And
so
1920s nudie pics.
Yeah.
Um,
Flash. It's just Flash Gordon. It's the entire thing is just Flash Gordon.
Yeah, so go ahead. That's actually our first caper power, yeah?
Yeah, this will be my charisma.
Yeah.
So welcome to.
And in this case, this is like against his
mind.
His mind, yeah, the kid's mind.
His mind score.
Mind score. Yeah, so there are a few other ones. There's body, mind, speed, and moxie. For those at home that are not currently staring at the.
So since I'm using a boost, I'm gonna get a whopping 1 card out of this.
Okay, well, you know.
You can always spend a moxie.
Yep.
Yep, that's the plan.
It's a charisma insight check. So do you have the insight skill?
No.
Yeah, no.
I have deception. That's about as close as I'm gonna get to it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay. And
That's
against
not
his
correct.
mind. So, yep. Okay. Your plans to stay?
I am going to spend a moxie.
Yep. Spin a moxie and do another.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, it's a
Okay.
little better.
It is a little better. You dig into his mind. You do actually tap in. He doesn't know as he keeps like talking and stuttering, but because he's trying to get his words out, the images are there, but they don't come to you in this very clear picture. It's flashes of them and feelings deep in your chest, as if you can taste and smell things that you shouldn't be able to. The smell of an alleyway trash and the feeling of a large, heavy hand on a kid's shoulder. He gasps as he turns around and stares up at the face of the preacher man. The kid withstands you a little bit. He kind of shakes his head. A headache, he says in the back of the car, as all of you watch the kid trying to get his words out. The face of the preacher man is slightly blurred, not as clear as it could be, and he leans down and whispers into the child's ear, "Deliver the note. Pull all the plugs. And this is yours." And then the flash of money and the smell of freshly printed cash. And then you rip free of his mind as the kid boots you out.
Sort of lean back, just resting the gun on my lap, still pointed at the kid.
Does it look like anything when you do this power? Like, is there like, do your eyes go back? They go like milky white? You know what I mean? Like, is there anything that shows you doing this thing? Or is it just like a flash and you get all of this like instantly downloaded into your brain?
The default for the game is that there is typically some sort of cosmetic thing that happens, but it's
Yeah.
really up to him what that is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what do you want?
I
Savage?
like
is
that
it?
idea of just like that. You know, what the hell's her name from X-Men?
Jean
Rogue?
Grey.
Storm.
So, Storm.
Like,
Storm.
her
Storm.
eyes just go, like,
Yeah.
pale white, just kind of
Yeah.
haunting look to him.
Yeah. And you probably come to with a gasp, no doubt, because again, you're living the mind and body of another kind of person in that, and you kind of gasp into.
Damn, Sly, he's a kid, and you know that creeps me out. It creeps me out when you do that to anybody.
What did he do? What did he do?
I look at the kid and it's like, just looking at him.
Worry.
Sorry, kid. I'm like I'm deliberately giving him a hard time.
Oh, okay. Kid's like, what did we do?
It's not good.
No,
It's not good for you.
What? I'll tell you everything I know. Please don't hurt me. And the car kind of comes to a halt right in front of the this beautiful hotel in the middle of the French Quarters, upscale, classy, where Lily is staying. And as the car parks, the valet comes up to the window and raps on it for Bertrand. And he says, "Keys, sir."
Yeah, we go about looking like we're playing the part here, getting out of the car, handing off the car to be parked.
Yep, you guys kind of exit, and as you do so, the kid he yells out, "They kidnapped me! They kidnapped me!" And they all look at you, which is where we will end tonight's episode.
2 seconds from saying something before you said that.
yeah. The kid yells out, they kidnapped me, and we will end there. But first, more importantly, this is everybody's last chance. We are giving away a free PDF copy tonight of the Capers RPG, which we are currently playing. So if you want to enter for that giveaway, you have like 1 minute to do so by typing !Capers. !Moxie. MOXIE, Moxie. That is tonight's keyword. It will enter you straight into it. I'll see it on my end, and we're going to draw here in just a second.
Can I enter?
If you really want to.
Just to win somebody else's prize away from them.
So, last chance to get those entries in if you haven't already, and I'm going to quickly draw it. Should drop it right there in chat. And here we go. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, we're rolling for it. And our winner is... Zaverick won tonight!
Maverick.
I didn't even enter the giveaway.
I think it's because you're in chat.
Yeah.
I think everybody in chat gets entered to the giveaway. So guess what, gang? Saverick has won himself a copy. We will be giving away a copy every game that we play of this from now until the beginning of December. We will be right here on the channel every Wednesday evening playing Capers through the month of November. We are going to take a break for Thanksgiving because, well... we're all going to take a break for Thanksgiving, and then we're going to come back. So we'll get a little break in between, but I'm really excited to have launched this campaign. You guys made some interesting choices tonight that I did not expect, which is kind of fun, and you got some information faster than I expected you to. So you can go, if you want to get your own copy, right there at DriveThruRPG, and if you make it with us all the way through the end of the campaign, the final episode, we'll be giving away a beautiful hard copy of Capers, along with the matching playing card deck. So, lots of fun things coming your way, so thank you all for tuning in. But let's go around to cast and crew. Let's chat with all of you. Let's hear where we can find you online doing other awesome things, and how you feel about this. It was an interesting playthrough tonight. I think people got to draw cards and all kinds of fun stuff. So, let's actually go backwards. And that would be... who is that first? That would be Eric first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Wow, thank you. This is a fun game. I really like the card mechanic. It's really fun. I'm enjoying this, and I'm enjoying the story, and I'm glad how screwed we are. I'm Eric, everybody. I was playing Joey the Lion today, and in my hands is a little lion who got out in a minute. So I have a little puppy right now, and she wants to wiggle out of my hands
so
like a
cute.
bird. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and all that stuff at Eric Vulgaris. I love role-playing games. And you should tell me on Twitter what your favorite role-playing games are and what's the coolest thing that happened in your last campaign. I love hearing people tell me about their favorite campaigns and like their favorite things going on. I love seeing that passion for this hobby that I love and care about so much.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited that you said yes to playing in this campaign. So Eric and I played one game together. He GM'd me, and I was like, "Can I please steal you to come play with me in my next campaign?" So that's how we got here. Next up is Kika.
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaBio and on various different shows all over Twitch. I'm all over the place. The best way to find me is to follow me on Twitter and see when I tweet about what games I'm in. I really enjoy this setting. I don't really get to delve into any sort of like 1920s setting things ever, and the card system I thought was going to be a little confusing, but it's actually extremely straightforward and it's super simple, and I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my thing too. I actually, when I first read through it, I was like, that seems really straightforward. Is it really that easy? And then like I pulled a deck and like walked through it, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be fun. I bet we can do this digitally. So I challenged myself to figure out a way to make it work for Roll20. So yeah, and I want to thank the playing background that I made. Craig, are you guys working on a Roll20 build out?
Yeah, there's I've got a friend of mine who is working on getting like a whole module packet together for Capers, and it will be featuring the background that you created. You said we could go ahead and use that, so that's going to be one of the available backgrounds. You know, we're probably going to do some stuff with some maps and minis kind of stuff too, for those people who like to play that stuff. But then there will be the blackjack table background. Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, well, that's exciting to hear. And yes, of course. Thank you for. I'm so excited about this character. Kika and I have kind of been like chatting secretly, so secret things will come out in the next episode. Just give me a bit. So secret things will come out possibly in the next episode. Next up, we have Savrik.
Hi, everybody. It was a good time tonight. I really enjoyed it. You can find me on Twitch or actually my own Twitter, both at Savrik. You can see me on the Greyhawk channel where I run Temple of Elemental Evil. That's on Saturdays at 1 p.m. or on my own channel where I run a Fallout 304 5e campaign. Otherwise, that's about all I got going on except this show, which I was super excited about and was having a really hard time not talking about it to anybody about.
We got to keep that hype fresh, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm really glad you're here. I promised I wouldn't burn your bar down the first game.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I added the gasoline and I was like, oh, they're going to think I'm going to burn the bar down. That's not where I'm going with this.
Your show on Greyhawk comes like right after mine, and I'm always like, yeah, go watch Chelsea. She's awesome. I can't wait to play with her again one day. I'm like, I'm playing with her in like a week, but I can't say anything.
But I can't say anything yet. Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming by, hanging out, and I'm glad you're going to be part of this game. Next up, we have Mad Fishmonger.
Hello. I've been super excited about this. I've just been like, just like jumping up and down. You know, thinking about it, and yeah, it's been great. I was super looking forward to this, and it worked out even better than I thought it would. So.
Yes, it did. It really did. Yeah, and it was. I've been, you and I've been chatting for a while, and I've been trying to get you to actually get to play with you. So I was really glad that you could fit your schedule and you were able to come. I guess I can't say roll dice, but I can say draw cards, right?
Yeah, and it's awesome. Like, and I haven't gamed with any of you guys before, and I loved how we just immediately were like, okay, like this. You know?
Yeah, you guys really. I love all of you. I brought you all to the table for different reasons, but all of them include just being great storytellers. Like, I love how you all throw your own twist and you want to add to the world and build out, and it's just those little things in players that I just adore. So thank you for being here. And last but certainly not least, our game creator. And this is your first time getting to play, right, Craig?
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who had kind things to say about the game. This is the second game that I've designed. I love everything about it. That's why it's in the game. The stuff that I didn't like, I dumped. But this is the first chance that I've had to actually play the game as a player. I'm always the GM.
Right.
So this has been a lot of fun. And so Dot, thank you for jumping on board and helping out to make this happen. This is a great time. You can find me at I'm Nerdburger Craig on Twitter. You can go to nerdburgergames.com to learn about all the stuff that I'm working on. And one of the things that I'm working on right now, Capers is my second game. My third game is on Kickstarter right now, this very minute, as you are watching this live, and will be until the day before Thanksgiving. It's called Die Laughing. It's quite different from this. It's a short play, GM-less, narrative-heavy game. The conceit of the game is everybody is playing a character in a horror comedy movie, and you are all going to die, so make it funny.
It's brilliant. I love it. We played it here, last Monday? Right before Halloween. So you can check out the VOD. It did get released to my YouTube, and it's right here on Twitch, at least for the last few days. So. And
it's available. You can kickstart it. Help me kickstart it for just $10. Gets you the PDF, and then you can also buy a soft cover super cheap. And there's also backer levels that will get you Capers and the first game, Murders and Acquisitions, as part of that package. So you can get those games in PDF form cheaper than you can get them at Drive-Thru RPG right now.
Yeah, you can get like it's like a bundle, right?
You can get any combination of them. You'll get Die Laughing, and then you can get either one of the other two games or all three.
Oh man, well, get on that, gang. I know that I adore Die Laughing. It's a really great. It's a great one-off like fun time. Just every time I've played it, it's just been a blast. So
and it is funded. It is well past funded. It is happening. We are adding more stuff to the game. It's getting bigger and better.
Yeah, and if nothing else, go follow Craig online, because he tosses out a lot of things of like, what horror monsters would you want to see, and like you get to help with a lot of the build out stuff, which is pretty cool. So definitely go follow him. I talk up his work and his games. I mean, here I am playing Capers. So I am Little Red Dot. I am a Twitch streamer and big time tabletop gamer. I play on a lot of networks, including Nerd Immersion with the North by Northwest podcast. I'm over on Greyhawk a couple times a week. I'm over on Unmade Gaming. You can check me out on Roll For It, and right here on my own channel where I play tons of indie games. That's what I'm trying to dedicate this space to, is giving these game designers a chance to see their game in action, and for the public to also be able to see it in action. So this starts what I'm calling the monthly indie series. Next month we will be playing Witch Girl Adventures. I can officially announce that. Witch Girl Adventures should be a ton of fun. It's an all-female cast. And it's just what it sounds like. It's like The Craft meets Mean Girls. So it should be a PG-13 rated fun. Other than that, you can follow me online to keep track of my crazy busy schedule and all the amazing other networks that I get to play for and games that I get to tell stories in. So until next week, we will see you right back here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday to go into the next episode of Capers Behind the Eight Ball. Until then, try not to take life too seriously, and don't do anything these gangsters would do. Okay. Bye, everybody.